Hey y'all, my name is Savannah, and welcome to Mentally Ill, the podcast. This is the podcast where we tell you to forget what you heard and do what you know. And if you don't know, hopefully this podcast will help you figure it out. This is a space where we talk openly and honestly about mental health, behavioral patterns, and the stuff that we're told to fix instead of understand. Disclaimer, I am not a professional. I'm just someone who's extremely self aware and I enjoy talking about it. So here we are, and here we go. Today's topic is perfectionism. Perfectionism isn't high standards, it's procrastination, self doubt, and the uncertainty of never feeling ready to begin. It stops you before you even start by instilling the fear of being imperfect, the fear of imperfection. Where does this fear come from? Well, this fear is something that we're taught. Fear is something that is instilled in us from a young age. A lot of us grew up with the phrase, do things the right way. Make sure you do it correctly, the right way, properly, appropriately. It was never do your best. And we as humans can only do what we know, right? You can only understand up until what you know to be true. Until you learn certain techniques, certain skills, certain ideas, those aren't things that are on your radar, and they're things that you'll never be able to comprehend or understand until you learn it, right? And that's something that we can all agree on. Some of us, though, internalize this and truly live life this way. Perfectionism is the thing stopping you from your true potential. Perfectionism is the thing stopping you from getting that job. Perfectionism is the thing stopping you from working out. Perfectionism is the thing stopping you from cooking your meals. Perfectionism is the thing that stops you from being you. It's the thing that stops you from doing the things that you want. So we're going to talk about it today, the steps to get over it, how I relate, and what I did and what I still do to handle and deal with my perfectionism. Because honestly, this is 2026. I'm so over allowing other people's perceptions to get in my way. And yes, perfectionism does have to do with other people's perceptions. Perfectionism shows up in multiple ways. Shows up in your behaviors, your patterns, and there are certain thoughts, feelings, symptoms, I guess you could say, that are perfectionism, and you may not even realize it. Now, the reason why perfectionism is related to this is because I'm inspired, I have the drive, and I have the idea. That's what you need to start. That's all you need to start. Why are you still stuck? Well, you're still stuck because you're still too busy worrying about perception, other people's perception. It's going to feign as your own. But in reality, the things that you fear are instilled in you because of the way other people are going to think of you, the thoughts and ideas that they're going to have, the way they're going to perceive what you create or what you put out there. Especially if it's not perfect. You don't want that to represent you. That's not who you are. But it is. But it is. If you live a life thinking about and considering other people before yourself, you'll never be perfect. You'll never do anything. You'll never be right, ever. The only time that you can be perfect is by doing your best. And the only time that you will be right is when you believe that you are. What I did to change my perspective and get over my perfectionism was by just doing instead of thinking. I say that because putting too much thought into what you're doing is not really having to do with you anymore, right? I do think it's important to think of steps, but when you overthink something to the point of not doing it anymore and not wanting to do it anymore, or actually still having the desire to do it, but just not doing it because you're scared, or because now it's overwhelming, or because now it's too much, well, guess what? If you would just started doing it to begin with, you would have done it until you felt that way. And then guess what? When you get over that feeling and you feel this urge and you feel this inspiration again, guess what you can go back to? And it's already started. And it's already there for the taking, for the finishing. Isn't that awesome? This is a new thought that I've had because I would start stuff and then I would restart them over and over and over again. But what I started doing was starting and picking up where I left off. And you know what? When I complete it, I go back and edit after. That's what it is. It's recording, redoing over and over and over again until you're happy with what you see. Now, if you're doing something for other people, that's why you're not liking it. That's why you're not happy with it. Now, if you're doing it for you, truly doing it for you, about what you want, what you like, what you want to create, what you want to design, what you want to go after, what you want your body to look like, What do you want your hair to look like? How do you want to do your nails? If you want to do your nails, that's all you, baby. All you. And if there's any part of you that questions what you want to do or what you're doing, probably has nothing to do with you. That thought, that ideal, that thing, that roadblock, it's other people's ideals that were put into you. Because why else would you be inspired by this thing? Why else would you want to do that thing? If it wasn't meant for you, if it's not for you. I'm not healed of being a perfectionist. I will forever be a perfectionist. What I did heal, though, was my relationship with perception. What's me and what's them? Now, this is something that you're only going to be able to get over by practice and by doing. That's why I said, don't think, do. You get an idea, do it. You have a thought, do it. You need to go after it. Life will change for you. So this is a topic or a thought or an ideal that you have thought of already or had interest in. I encourage you to do more research. Even if my words aren't changing it for you, look more into it because you're here for a reason. You clicked on this video for a reason. You listened this far for a reason. And I'm talking about this for a reason. Explore it. Explore everything and anything that you want to do. Even if you don't think it's the right way or someone tells you it's not the right way. Stop asking other people. Stop that. Stop. All right? Stop. When you get an idea to do something, I want you to ask yourself these 3 questions, okay? Question number 1, is this a pattern? I want you to sit and I want you to think about the amount of times that you've had this specific idea or had this specific urge. I want you to sit and I want you to think about times in the past where you felt this way. What triggered them? What position were you in? Is this a pattern? Be honest. Be self-aware. Clock it. Question number 2, what is it protecting me from? Why are you stopping? Why are you hesitating? Question number 3, what could happen if I follow through? Now, your first move is probably going to think about the bad, right? I want you to think about it for a moment and then move on to the good. What could happen? You being happy? You doing exactly what you wanted to do? You profiting off what you wanted to do? You getting recognized for what you wanted to do? What I did with these 3 questions is change the way that I felt about it. Instead of thinking about other people, if I had a thought that had anything to do outside of myself, I would redirect it back to me. Well, how am I benefiting? What am I benefiting? What am I getting out of this? What am I getting out of this? Now, a lot of people are going to say that's selfish. And a lot of people are going to think that's selfish. But why would I think, what are other people going to get out of this? What do other people want from this? What do other people expect from me? Those are stupid questions. They're stupid, all right? When it comes to things that you want to do and it intertwines with your perfectionism, it's stupid. It's lame. All right, it's lame. And the people who are telling you it's not lame, it's because they benefit from you considering them. They benefit from you considering everybody besides yourself. The people who are going after you and taking you down and feeding that perfectionism in your brain is because they benefit from you not doing your best, you not doing what you want to do, you being a perfectionist. You think that you being a perfectionist is better for others and better for yourself, but it's only better for others. Because guess who's not doing things now? Guess who's not using their full potential? Guess who's, well, ultimately be unhappy because they're not doing the things that they want to do. They're not fulfilling their needs and their desires. If you're someone who believes those things, their purpose even, because why else would you want to keep doing something and thinking about something over and over and over again if it wasn't meant for you, if it wasn't for you? It's just about the steps you take to get there. So the first step is to change your perspective and change your way of thinking. The second step is to do instead of think. Act on those thoughts and ideas. Immediately act. 3, listen to your body and your mind. As someone who is a perfectionist, I'll start things. When I get to step 3, I start things and I either lose focus or don't know where to go from there. Something that helps me a lot is dedicating and allocating time for the things that I want to work on and the things that I desire and the things that I want to do. I'm not someone who lives by a super outlined schedule, but I do have certain things I like to get done within a day or within a week that really helps me stay on track. And it's helped so much with me being perfectionist because I'm like, oh, this is a very general thing that I wrote down that I want to do today. As long as I do something in this category, I'll feel satisfied. And it satisfies me perfectionism wise because I still did what I said I would do. And I did the extent that I was able to do it that day because I'm a big believer in the closest thing to perfect that you can get is doing your best. You can only do up to what you know. So as long as you're doing your best and you truly know that, you truly know that you're doing your best and you need to be truly, truly self-aware to actually do this. Once you know you're doing your best, you can't fail yourself anymore. Honestly, a lot of that perfectionism melts away. And me being someone who still struggles with it, I just try to keep that in my mind and memory. Write it down somewhere, maybe somewhere that you could see it every single day. Do your best. Because doing your best is the closest that you'll ever get to perfection. It's the closest you'll ever get to perfection. And if you're not happy enough with your best, then you're going to work harder to do better and be better. You should always work to be better because no one is perfect, right? That's what we say, no one is perfect. But you are if you do your best. And as you know more and do better, you'll remain perfect because you're always doing your best, right? Right. Step number 4, circle back. Circle back. You started the project. You had the idea. You acted. You did it. You listened to your mind and your body about how you felt in the moment. You allocated time. The next step is to circle back. Allocate more time. Maybe you started doing it and you weren't feeling it at the time or you weren't happy with it. Well, now you can schedule more time later on to circle back. The amount of times that I've had pictures taken of me, or I looked at photos of myself and I hated them. And then later on, I would look back on my phone and be like, wow, actually, these are pretty fire. Look fucking good. Like, oh, and those end up posted somewhere. I say that as if I post a lot. I don't. I need to start posting more. And again, that's due to my perfectionism, which we're getting over, right? We're getting over perfectionism in 2026. We're not letting perfectionism stop us in 2026. Because we're what? Doing our best. And what does that make you? Perfect. Yes, yes, yes. Have the idea. Act on the idea. Allocate time for the idea. Circle back. This is a cycle. This is a process that you will repeat. This is a process that you will do to get over your perfectionism. Have the idea, act, allocate time, and circle back. Now, circling back, I'm going to give you 2 different forms of circling back. You have the circling back where you are either not feeling it at the time, maybe you stopped the work that you were doing on it early, maybe you felt uninspired, or maybe you got upset again and that perfectionism came in and you're like, I can't do this, I'm not made for this, okay? You're going to stop. If you have that thought, you're going to stop. You may be so upset that you think you never want to do it again. Or maybe you're like, I'll come back to it later. If it's this option, come back to it later option, you allocate time immediately. You say, well, if I'm not going to do this now, I'm going to do this time, in this space, for this amount of time, on this day, in this part of my home or in this public space, whatever it is. You're going to write it down, okay? Maybe even use your Google Calendar for it so you can have a reminder. That helps me a lot. If it's like not the next day and it's the day before, or whatever, a few hours before, put a few reminders on there. And you'll come back to it and then you repeat that process again. Except now you know it's coming. So you're mentally and subconsciously preparing yourself for this thing, this event. Feels like an event now. Now, if it's the other way, where you feel like you want to give up and you're so defeated that you don't want to do anything anymore having to do with this thing, well, guess what? The urge is going to come back and the idea is going to come back again. This is a cycle, a pattern. It's going to happen again. And you're going to go through these steps again. You're going to have that idea or thought. You're not even going to think about the last time you did it. You're going to have an idea or thought. You're going to take action on it. But the good thing is, you're already started because you could pick up where you left off. And if you have the thought that, oh, it's not as good this time, or it's not whatever, it's not stuff like that, I implore you to give it a shot anyway. And if you're that against it, start over. Go ahead, start over. But you're going to keep doing this process because eventually you're going to keep starting over to the point of going through this 4-step process. You're going to keep starting over to the point of now you know what you want. Because you've had this idea before. You've done this before. Guess now who has practice and who has consistency? Guess who's going to go longer now and feels more confident? You feel more confident every time you do something because you get better at it. You get more perfect at it. And soon you will be. Soon you'll truly believe that you're perfect at this thing because you already know that you're doing your best, which is the closest to perfection that you can get. Like, don't want to brag about giving you the 4 steps that are going to change your life, but I just gave you the 4 steps that are going to change your life. I've been doing this for years. I'm going to say for years, honestly, because I don't always learn my lesson and I don't always progress the way I'd like to. But again, it's because I didn't know any better. I didn't realize this cycle or this pattern until recently. And now I'm sharing it with you because it changed my life, clocking it. And sometimes I need to be reminded of it. And now you have this video and I have this video, so can't really forget now. And I'm going to be editing this video on top of it. So it's going to be engraved into my brain. What's going to help you get engraved into yours? What's going to make you believe it? Awareness isn't a negative thing. It might feel bad at first when you're new to being self-aware, but it's because you don't realize that negative feeling is other people's perceptions. Perfectionism isn't the end. Perfectionism doesn't need to stop you from doing the things that you want to do. Not everyone's wired the same. Not everyone's built the same. This is something that I have. I'm one of those quirky people that struggle with perfectionism. But it's just because my brain works differently. I have to do a few more steps to get it right. I have to do a bit more than the average person. And I'm okay with that. You know, to be honest, when I get to where I want to be, y'all not ready for that. And that's why I don't let perfectionism stop me. Because I'm already this good and this excited and this confident and this inspired. And I'm just starting. Can't let this go to waste. Don't let your go to waste either. Thank you for spending your time with me and watching this episode. And if you didn't watch and you're just listening, thank you for listening. I'm excited to hear what the audio sounds like after all this. Super excited about that. But if this resonated with you, I encourage you to sit with that. Maybe you don't like the way that I said it, but I encourage you to look more and deeper into what drew you here and why you stayed. And also why you even clicked on this video. Even if it's not with me, self-awareness is key. Self-awareness will solve all of your problems. Self-awareness will truly show you how great you are, how perfect you are, and that you're doing your best. It'll help you do your best. You don't have to do anything with this information today, but I do encourage you to explore it more. Whether it's with me or on your own, I highly recommend you looking into perfectionism and what it means to you. What made you click on this video? What enticed you about this video? What made you think, but maybe you didn't fully relate to? I highly encourage you to look deeper and look into it because you're here for a reason. Until next time, trust what you know. and forget whatever the fuck you heard. Bye, guys. We are the creators of our realities. And if you believe that you cannot do something unless it is done a certain way or the right way or have the right tools for it, you'll probably never do that thing. Things take time, things take energy, consistency, things have to become habits. Picking up something immediately, getting it right, enjoying it, loving it, etc., is unlikely and not exactly common. It's a thing that a lot of us, I believe, are told is to happen fast, but good things come with time. The best things come with time.